Hi to everyone and welcome to this new video about cell biology. Today, after finishing with the prokaryotic cell structure, we're gonna have a look into more details to the animal cell structure. Let's say that we're gonna start another journey, but this time not anymore into the bacterial structure, but into the animal cell structure. Basically, what can we see here is just a general overview of a typical animal cell. Here again, the concept is always the same. We can easily identify that this one is a eukaryotic cell structure due to the presence of the nucleus, in which we can find genetic material, like for example DNA or RNA, but also presence of different organelles, like for example peroxisome, lysosome, mitochondria, and let's say, as we defined also before, kind of organelles envelope it. So presence of membrane in which we can find specific organelles. And here basically is the same, so it's a typical animal cell, but 3D structure. What can we find here? For example, very easily to identify our nucleus, in which we can find our genetic material. Here is shown a chromosome. We will have a look later on, but also you can have a look into more details during the molecular biology course, and also many other kinds of organelles, in which we will discuss it later. So as I told you before, animal cells, so eukaryotic cells, are typical of the eukaryotics, enclosed by a plasma membrane. Here in this case is this one is our plasma membrane, and containing a membrane-bound nucleus and organelles. So this is my nucleus, membrane-bound nucleus, and those are all my membrane-bound organelles. Sorry. Unlike the eukaryotic cell of plants and fungi, animal cells do not have cell wall. This feature was lost in the distant past by the single-celled organism that gave rise to the kingdom Animalia. So here we will have a look to the eukaryotic cell, but now we are going to focus our attention only to the animal cell structure, but we will see that more or less the common features, the common characteristics can also be found in the plant cell. Exactly. So here, plant cell structure, plant cell are eukaryotic cells, so very complex cell. They are present in plants, algae, and other photosynthetic eukaryotic cell of this big kingdom, which is called Plantae. Their distinctive feature include, so when I say their distinctive feature means which kind of characteristic cannot be found, so be careful, cannot be found in the animal cell. We can found, for example, we can easily identify primary cell walls, here, this one, which cannot be found in the animal cell. We can also identify presence of plasmid. This one is the plasmid with the capability to perform a photosynthesis, and also a large vacuole. So this one is our large vacuole that regulates all the physiological properties of the plant cell, like for example the turgor fraction. So again, just let's say the key concept of this slide is that even though they are eukaryotic cell, there are some differences between plant cell and animal cell, and the differences can be easily summarized as presence of primary cell wall, presence of plastids, and also presence of large vacuole. So again, here, for example, I prefer to make, so actually I took it from this website, in which we can easily identify presence, what are basically the differences between them, animal cell and plant cell. Again, they are same eukaryotic cell, but animal cell are generally smaller compared to the plant cell. There is no presence of cell wall. The nucleus generally, we can find the nucleus in the center, as we can see here. For the plant cell, we can always find the nucleus in the side, basically due to the presence of this big end vacuole. There are many vacuoles in the animal cell. There is only one vacuole. They cannot synthesize nutrients, but the plant cell can synthesize, so they can produce nutrients, and there is no destruction that is called plasmodesmata, which is indeed present of plant cell. So again, just for our general understanding, there are two kinds of eukaryotic cells, but even though they are eukaryotic cells, so complex cells, there are differences between them. And now let's see how do they look like when we study at the microscope. What can we see here, for example, is a leaf seen under the microscope. The leaf is composing of millions of plant cells, as we can see here, the green one. So this one is a cell, this one is a cell, the other one is a cell, a cell, a cell, a cell, a cell. Okay? And everything can see inside this grid part are basically this big vacuole. And here, just to make a comparison, an animal cell. So is a human chick cell seen under the microscope. The skin is composed again of millions of animal cells. And basically what can we see are basically just this dot point. So this one is a cell. This one again is a cell. I'm trying to do all my best to this one is a cell. Okay. So everything which contain this dot, so this blue dot, which represents the nucleus, is a cell. Okay, and I just put this slide because generally something that we cannot see at naked eye, but when investigated tissue, like for example leaf or human chick cell under the microscope, we can easily identify all the characteristics that we study. Okay, so again, plant cell and animal cell. And again, so just a learning activity, observing plant and animal cell, how it looks like by eye, so a leaf or for example a tissue, our muscle, and how it looks like at the microscope. We can see one cell, plant cell, close to this plant cell, another plant cell, close another plant cell, and the same for the animal, and how it's composed, so the same that we studied before. Okay, so plant cell generally bigger than animal cell, presence of one big vacuole, many vacuoles here but smaller, presence of nucleus in the side, presence of the nucleus in the center, presence for example in the plant cell of chloroplast, that's why basically they are green, and absence of chloroplast, presence of also cell wall, that is this one, absence of cell wall. So basically just a summarized slide in order to do a brief recap of what we studied before. And now it's also for you time for activities. Try to answer to the following question. So which are the features of animal and plant cells? And also, can you please describe with which kinds of animals and plant cells are you in touch almost every day? Make a brief research about the topic and write an essay. This one is the first activity, but for this video we have activity. This one, so based on the slide that I showed you before, try to identify what you are observing. So try to identify what is this picture referred to, what is this picture, what is this picture, and so on. Okay, we already seen something similar in during the video. Hope that you enjoyed this lesson and hope to see you soon in the next one. Good luck for your activity. Bye.